I started the C3 project a few years ago, and I was interested in working with composers and was fortunate to be around a group of really talented, wonderful folks. The second thing I was interested in was working across disciplines with visual artists and poets and choreographers and creating pieces that cross those boundaries. One of the things we've done more recently is to pull selected repertoire from the C3 Project book and to create an album, and that's called Stories in Real Time.
And I would say that Darryl gave more thought to his recitals than about any doctoral student that I've worked with in my 8 years at NEC. And it was fun. I always felt walking into one of his recitals as if I was in for an adventure.
Music would rise and then fall down, and then there is this kind of beautiful crescendo of images, and then the images would quiet down, and the fog comes up, and then this beautiful clarinet takes over. Nice surprise.
Darryl Harper's compositions can sometimes be very complex, but when they are interpreted by the great musicians that he assembled for the project, they were very, very accessible and thoroughly enjoyable. I'd be glad to go back and see them again, and hopefully they'll be coming my way real soon.
You can't overestimate the value of a performance like this in a community. It's very important not only for the diversity of cultures and genders, but for the diversity of the arts, for different art forms to be working together, and for the opportunity for community to experience that all in one place. Because of the fact that C3 had such a great program, we had 8 co-sponsors drawn from across the university. We had jazz, we had music department at large, we had university libraries in the English department, multicultural affairs, African American studies, the provost office for diversity, all pitched in, and the students themselves from the university, the activities planning board pitched in. All told, we had these 8 groups making it very possible to bring C3 to our campus.
One of the things we can do is to create programming around the concert. For instance, at VCU, I gave a lecture on how to combine music and poetry, or how to work within those two disciplines. And one of my favorite poets is Yusef Komunyaka, who wrote, one of the poems he wrote is called the Blue Light Lounge Sutra. And he has this line in it, you got to get into it so deep, et cetera, et cetera. You got to get into it so deep. It's a refrain that keeps coming back. And it makes for a wonderful musical quality, which is his intention, that gives you a lot to discuss in that kind of context. And I think that can be really exciting for students who are writing, as well as students who are musicians, who are studying music.
I was totally stunned by Darryl's lecture on music and poetry. In fact, after he did his lecture, I said, have you thought about teaching a poetry class? Because Darryl strikes me as having a facility for and a grasp of poetry that is just nothing short of brilliant. I couldn't believe the facility with which he was able to identify and handle the themes and link them up to the music and make it all very interesting and exciting. And he would fall out of the lecture and then back into a musical mode. It was really stunning. It was a great experience.